Here. Greater Lawrence is from Massachusetts, Andover, Essex area. Fayetteville Manlius high school program outside of Syracuse. Syracuse suburbs there. Longtime coach Dave Cusano, New York State board member. Shout out Dave. Got Niskayuna here, local team.
Coxswains, please overcorrect.
Niskayuna is the first of the local high school rowing programs. They've been around since the late 80s, I believe. Wayland Weston here.
They're sculling it around.
It's going around, getting lined up.
Why would a crew have to scull it around up at the start there?
So what they're doing there when Avery says scull it around is they're angling their boat in a way that they get pointed where they wanted to without pulling themselves away from the stake boat. And so you gotta, it's almost like a pivot. So we see lane 8 there is Row America Rye. We skipped Row New Jersey in 7, and then there's Pelham up top, lane 9.
A little further downstate.
Yeah, a little further downstate. I haven't seen those Pelham unis before.
Yeah, I think those are new
might
this
be
year.
new ones.
Right, oh, and squared up here.
So as we mentioned, if I have my finger on the pulse correctly, the top 3 Rye 8s are going to be down at the King's Crown Invitational this weekend, and so this is going to be a Rye boat that's stepping up to fill in some big shoes. And a lot of these teams, you know, to write them off is probably a mistake.
Yeah.
This is a deep team. They will be competitive in these boat classes. But I think Pelham's going to look to put themselves out in front of this one on the top there.
Syracuse.
We've seen good starts from the Wayland Weston crews so far. I wouldn't be surprised if this boat gets off the line as well. They've clearly put a bit of an emphasis on that.
Row New Jersey.
Curious to see what our
Row
Syracuse
America.
kind of does. I've never seen them
Community.
race before, so it's
Attention.
interesting to see what they put down the course.
Yeah, Syracuse, one of the Syracuse programs. You've got Baldwinsville, Liverpool, Fayetteville Manlius, Syracuse. If I understand correctly, and if I'm wrong, my apologies. I believe it is kind of a conglomerate of the city school districts proper, so not the suburban ones.
Yeah.
They're in our bottom lane here. They've gotten off to a nice start. They're actually pretty close to level with their Syracuse counterparts, Fayetteville Manlius. They'll row out of the same boathouse and compete as Syracuse Chargers in the fall and the summer, and that's always fun. You know, when you're a club team and then you gotta get to compete against your buddies in the spring for your school's colors. Really nice race here in the front as Row New Jersey is a slight lead. That's Wayland Weston up top there with Pelham close to us. Those are your top 3 as we get underway here. Rye boat's hanging in there in lane 8. We got a lot of small boats this morning, a lot of skill on display.
Yeah.
8s,
Just
varsity 8s.
grip it and rip
See
it.
the speed.
Yeah.
These will be the fastest girls' boats on the course today.
Pelham's really getting out there. Similar to that near Grand Tip pair, just keeping steady. Getting that ball out in front. Consistent.
Good send there. Nice lock. Very stable bodies at the finish. That's what's working for them well. Coaches clearly put an emphasis on that. Their core's braced and they're pushing the boat through it there. You can get some different reach, lunge, what have you, up at the catch, but when we're all finishing together, the boat's going to be balanced. It's going to run. That Row New Jersey boat hanging on with them there. Nice battle between Wayland Weston and Niskayuna towards the middle of the course there. And that Rye entry in lane 8 is right there with that pack. So that's your race for bronze. It'd give a slight edge to, maybe slight edge to Rye for 3rd there, just ahead of Wayland Weston, maybe a deck ahead of Niskayuna. I've got that reversed. So that's Waylon Weston giving up a deck to Niskuna. Niskuna's in lane 5 there.
Yeah. What I really like about Pelham, they're really catching outside of those puddles, really sending this boat away here.
Good spacing, absolutely. Yep, their base rhythm, they're getting good spacing. And that's how you know it's sustainable. They're not going easy, but they're within themselves.
Yeah.
They're not doing too much. Staying steady here, New Jersey.
Trying to catch up to them.
That's a tricky spot to be in.
Yeah.
Because you want to be making sure that you're gaining on the guys in front of
Yeah.
you. But you also don't want to let anybody else in the door.
Yeah. So I think their coxswain is about on that bow seat of that New Jersey boat there.
Yeah, they might be getting a bow ball call.
Yeah.
Get the crew hyped up there.
Interesting. Now they're coming into that last 500 here.
Niskuna has started to open up just a little bit on Waylon Weston there. That what was a deck lead is probably about half a length, maybe getting closer to about a stern. And the Rye boat is just staying ahead of that. They're about a deck up on Niskuna. New Jersey, little open water ahead of the pack behind him, little open water down to the Pelham boat in front. And as you said earlier, that Pelham boat, they're clearing puddles still. They're just getting out there and continuing to hold.
So yeah, they're this will be an interesting shakeup because now they're bow to stern, just a little bit, quarter of it.
And nobody's quite hit the switch yet. As I say that, Pelham is. New Jersey has not quite responded to that yet.
But I think Pelham is walking away now in this
They
last
are.
250.
It's going to be, watching eights racing, this isn't a gap that really gets made up in the
No.
last, 45, 50 seconds, barring, accident.
Yeah.
It's just going to be too much to overcome. Single possible. We see the Pelham girls here coming through. Long, strong, body's still stable to finish. They're doing a nice job there, looking very solid. And they'll want to put as big a margin into this field as they can,
Yeah.
because their benchmark is the Rye 1B.
Yeah.
They're going to see them here at States in 2 weeks. You've got Pelham, you've got